The moment I stepped into the apartment, my stomach churned. The air was heavy, almost suffocating, as if it held secrets desperate to stay hidden. I didn't think much of it at the time. I was just excited to finally have my own place. But looking back now, I realized the signs were there, screaming at me to leave. At first, everything seemed perfect. The rent was cheap, the neighborhood quiet, and the landlord seemed friendly. It felt like a dream come true. For the first week, I cleaned, arranged my furniture, and even invited friends over. We laughed, ate, and celebrated. Life seemed good. But then I started unpacking the kitchen. The moment I stepped into that room, something felt off. The air was damp, and a faint metallic smell lingered, like old blood. I told myself it was nothing, just nerves from moving into a new place. That night, as I cooked for the first time, the gas stove flickered strangely. The flames were weak and danced erratically as if struggling to stay alive. While I fiddled with it, I heard a soft whisper. It wasn't clear enough to understand, but it was there, faint and unsettling. The sound was coming from the corner of the kitchen, near the pantry. I slowly walked over and opened the door, but it was empty, just shelves and cobwebs. I laughed nervously, shaking off the fear. It's nothing, I said to myself, just an imagination. But the strange feeling didn't go away. The next morning, I found one of my pots lying in the middle of the kitchen floor. It was heavy, the kind that doesn't fall easily. When I picked it up, I noticed something strange, a faint, hand-shaped mark on its surface, as if someone with ash-covered fingers had touched it. I called my landlord, but he assured me no one else had a key. Maybe you knocked it down, he said casually, but I knew I hadn't. As the days went on, other rooms started to feel strange too. The second bedroom where I planned to set up my workspace felt off. Every time I entered, a wave of nausea hit me. It was worse in the evenings. I did try to set up my desktop, plug in my computer, but the room would grow unbearably cold, even though it was the middle of a hot season. One night, I heard a loud bang from that room. I rushed in to find the window open. Even though I was sure I had locked it, the curtains flapped widely and the air was freezing. Then came the dream. I saw a woman sitting in the corner of my living room, her back to me. Her hair was disheveled, and she hummed a strange tone. When I approached her, she turned to face me. Her eyes were hollow, her skin pale, and her lips moved as if it was trying to speak. I woke up gasping, drenched in sweat. That was when I knew something was wrong. I told a friend about it, but she dismissed it. It's just stress, she said. You are overthinking. But deep down, I knew it wasn't just stress. I started asking questions around the neighborhood. One neighbor told me the last tenant had left suddenly. He lost everything, she said, his job, his health, even his sanity. One day, he just disappeared. I called my aunt, a deeply spiritual woman, and told her everything. She listened quietly before asking, did you cleanse the house before moving in? Cleanse it? I asked, confused. She explained that old houses often carry the energy of those who lived there before. If the previous occupants suffered, fought, or even died tragically, that energy could remain, latching onto new tenants. She insisted I do the following. Wash the floors and walls with salt water. Salt, she said, is powerful for breaking negative energy. Burn herbs like sage or incense. This would purify the air and drive away lingering spirits. Pray or recite protective words. Claim the house as my own and command any negative force to leave. Seal the doors and windows with symbols of protection. I followed her advice that night. As I mopped the floors with salt water, I felt like I was being watched. The feeling was strongest in the kitchen. The whispers began again, louder this time. They seemed to come from the pantry. I opened the door and found an old dusty jar hidden behind the shelves. Inside was a folded piece of paper. The writing was faded but clear enough to read. To the one who moves in next, beware, this house is cursed. Pray hard or it will ruin you too. My hands shook as I dropped the jar. The whispers grew louder, angrier, until I screamed, leave this house. You don't belong here. The air suddenly grew still and the heavy feeling lifted. From that night on, the house felt lighter, warmer, as if it had been freed from something dark. My business started recovering. The calls I had stopped receiving came flooding back. My health and energy returned. Looking back, I realized how close I came to losing everything. So here is my warning to you. Never move into a new house, especially an old one, without cleansing it first. You don't know who lived there before or what they left behind. Some energies can destroy your peace, your progress, and even your life. Don't make the mistake I made. Protect yourselves, protect your home. Thanks for watching my video. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, in order to get notified when we upload our subsequent videos. Thank you.